You guys, so how funny is this? So like, I used to do these videos where I would get ready because of time constraints and then make the video, and then of course, you know, the Zionists like caught, like, obviously they stalked me and they saw that, and then they gave my like platform or my idea to Elon's Mossad traffic baby mama, and then she started doing that and like bitching online. Fucking unbelievable. But anyway, so if you actually could see my videos, I'm not sure if you could or not on X, like that's what I was doing because I had to get ready. But then, like, you know, the Israelis take everything. So I think that's like the main problem here is that we need to be aware that these people are thieves and they steal everything. So the problem is that if you use their AI systems, they're going to steal all of your information. If you use their social media platforms, they're going to steal all of your information. Palantir has been watching my phone for like 3 years, and I direct like a lot of things that people don't even know about just because they're watching my life and they're doing everything the way that I do everything. They say everything that I say. They wear everything that I wear. So, obviously, like, I don't know if many of you people know the full story, but essentially, I was in a living situation and I got in on X after years of being silenced, and I won't really get into that particular history, but I kind of broke out. I broke free a little bit, and then they claimed it was Elon, but I don't know who it really was. They were guiding me with bots on the X platform. And I'll tell you, I was doing all of my own work, all of my own opinions. But then when they saw what I was doing, and everybody I was connecting with, they started, this is like MK Ultra type of stuff, CIA stuff, Mossad, whoever, they made all these platforms, well, one, actually a bunch, like, they're truly sick, like, and I don't know who this is happening to now, but it's such a big problem, like, and, they kind of, like, bring you down a rabbit hole, so, like, I can only imagine, like, if like, anybody, like, shot anybody or anything like that, these kids, like, they can easily fuck with you. Like, they can use their AI, they can use bots, like, because bots aren't humans, but they pretend that they're humans and manipulate you to the point where you lose, like, you could, like, I could see how somebody, and it's, like, almost not even that they lost reality because they're being fooled. Like, so, I mean, the reality of a bot is that it's not a human, it's a bot. So, that's like how they're terrorizing young adults now and people now through bots, which is like my huge concern. And then my other huge concern was that I shared, and I think I posted like 180,000 posts in like 2 years, which was like 100 posts a day. And some people could think that, oh my gosh, that's like manic behavior or whatever, but people don't actually, like, they didn't understand like extraordinary or exceptional. And like, even in college, like, I took a class on the exceptional child, which was just individuals who have certain abilities that seem unlikely to be real. So, and I only have to say this now because I have to protect myself, because otherwise, in the past, I've been called names, I've been misdiagnosed many times. I've gone through experiences that have been mistaken or labeled like other experiences, etc. So I've learned a lot about that. So anyway, they found me on X advocating for Gaza, and they started manipulating me with fake accounts and bots, and they told me that they wanted, like, I needed to start working on the Trump campaign, and they told me that was because Elon was in love with me, and whatever. So I don't know, like, it's crazy because, like, I did develop like a friendship with these people and a fondness, and I feel like they developed a friendship and a fondness for me. However, in the end, like, I actually learned who Elon truly was. It's like, I didn't know who Elon was before. I know that might sound kind of weird, but like I said to you, I was put under extreme circumstances for about 4 years, and also I'm an aloof person, and before that I was like on a spiritual type of quest, and so I wasn't like into the whole celebrity scene or things like that. So I was just extremely out of the loop. So I actually didn't know who Elon was. So, which was a huge advantage to them, because then they portrayed Elon to be somebody that he wasn't. Like, I remember I slowly found out that he had like all these kids. Like, it was crazy. So like, and then one way they got me too, because there's a documentary on Putin, and I'm like a historical buff, essentially. I'm actually like a polymath, so I enjoy like a ton of random topics. That's like my passion in life, is just random topics, which also I got in trouble for. Like, there were certain things I'm not allowed to do, or say, and things like that, because it's used as like a red flag against me. So various interests, I'm not allowed to like talk about spirituality, stuff like that. So, but it's just absurd. And so anyway, like I told you before, like I studied like World War II, and I explained to you online like the situation with Russia, and the fact that that's where all of these Satanist, paganish, whatever, Jewish people, who I am historically one of, so I hope people don't, think that I'm just out here trying to attack people. I'm looking at the human circumstances realistically, and I can relate to a lot of it, and I'm coming from various sides, as many of us are now. So I just want to make the world like how I can help, because it's my interest, and because it affects me, contribute in a way that makes the world a more understanding and expansive place. So, and the first way to do that is we have to have knowledge. Like they say, knowledge is power, so we have to know what's going on. And that's why these AI systems are so offensive, because how dare they give you a sliver of the situation, or when you're getting closer to the answer to the situation, they insult you or attack you, saying that you are insulting or attacking others. No, they are insulting and attacking you, and they're lying to you, and they're stealing from you, and they're using these platforms as tools to do it. So that's a huge problem. And anyway, like, sure, there's a lot, that obviously, like, I don't live in Russia, like I don't live in Ukraine, so their experiences may be different from what I have come up with from my studies. However, this is like the conclusions that I've gotten to, which is that Russia, I wish I had like a sweater. Like these people came up from this area, and obviously they were like the Soviet Union, and then the problem with, we've done all this before, but like I guess we have to do it again. I mean, this could take a century, but so the problem with World War II is that this Jewish group, and like I said, I'm not here to attack any group of people who are not involved with this particular group. I'm here to explain a historical situation that is relevant to the situation that we're dealing with now. So, was doing exactly what they're doing to the U.S., to Germany, and they were also genociding Christians, which is currently what they're doing right now as well. So, and they're genociding Muslims, and so this is this particular group's behavior. This Jewish segment within the Jewish community, the Ashkenazi Jewish community, who are from Eastern Europe, and who the hell knows where people were from, okay, when Jesus was here. I'm Metho-Iranian, I'm North African from God knows when, from the original times, like somehow over to Metho or something, Iranian, Palestinian, blood. This is all in the DNA stuff that they give. So it's like it's silly to make these claims, and these claims are just manipulations for political and economic endeavors, is what it is. In terms of this person belongs to this land, or this person belongs to this land, and therefore we can just go and we can just steal it. The fact of the matter is, it's just an imperialistic mindset. It's just a mindset that if we want it, we're gonna take it. And if these people want a bullshit explanation of why we're gonna do that, we're gonna make one. That's that situation. So, like I said, if people wanted to make like claims like that, like, okay, like get a DNA test, like. If you want to make a historical claim that you belong somewhere based on DNA, then get a DNA test, okay? That if we're basing it off of historical DNA, then you need to show that you have this historical DNA. And the problem is that they're removing people and they're taking other people's money, such as ours, to do it because of this claim, which is absurd. So finally somebody is here, me, who is going to say enough, okay? And I have the audience, the global audience, to do this, and I know a lot of other people have been doing it too, but I'm telling you, this is how it is. It's enough. Like, stop. Just stop it. So what is happening, and I'm going back and forth, is that this is what happened in Germany, okay? So this group took over German media, they took over German parliament, they took over German finance, and they drained the shit out of it. So like I said, the economy should be kind of like I want to say almost a closed system that is extremely well organized and monitored. So you know when money's going out, where money's going out, if the country can afford it, if the people who are paying for it can afford it, if the people paying the taxes cannot buy homes and cannot afford educations, which in the United States we all need to be having educations. We've paid for them through our taxes and through our families' work for a very long time, and now their default is to say, well, you don't need an education. And even they're all CIA, they're all intelligence. So even Tucker Carlson may pick up good topics here and there, but he's still going to tell you the agenda that they want, which is, oh, and you don't need an education. Can you imagine a population that has zero education, and then is getting all their information from Zionist bullshit AI chatbots? And then the cherry on top for them would be if they could themselves put a Neuralink in your brain and implement all of the thoughts that they want you to have and extract all of the thoughts from you that benefit them. So, like, the microcosm of that is like the social media, because everybody's putting their data and their thoughts on social media, and then this group is harvesting them. And then a step up from that is now their AI. So it's like, oh, you have a genius idea about this? Type it in. Let's see if we can work it out together. Okay, so now who's going to develop that genius idea? You, who the chatbot can tell you, oh, it's not that good of an idea. Meanwhile, they have billions of your tax dollars to go and implement that idea that you had and that you put into the chatbot. Like, so, and then the next level would be like the Neuralink, which is direct. Like, they don't have to fuck with you with bots anymore, because they're just going to extract the ideas straight from your brain. So that's what that is. Like, you have to understand how absurd that is. I mean, when something's in your brain, where's the kill switch? We don't understand how that works, and the problem is that they want to keep everybody ignorant and they want to corral you in. It's the fox trap. Like, it's like the foxhole. Like, the fox wants you to get into the fucking hole. So it's not going to tell you anything. It's going to just... I just heard one of their pedophile fucking weirdos, Mr. Beast, that they give money to these idiots, and then these idiots do dumb shit. And it's all of our tax money, is saying, I would get a Neuralink for sure, absolutely, I'm going to be the first one. Okay, sure, good for you. Like, you're an idiot. We already know that. Like, okay, a weirdo fucking idiot pedophile tells me he'd be the first one to get a fucking Neuralink. Good for you. Like, so anyway, I was so naive when I got into this world. Like, I knew a lot, but I was naive about their tactics, and they basically just try to fucking kill me, essentially. So, in so many ways. And I had to really smarten up and realize they are trying to kill me. They are trying to kill me emotionally, physically, spiritually. They are trying to steal everything from me. They will try to sabotage the world around me. You have to realize how extremely dangerous this group is. It is the foxhole. They will do anything to destroy you as a human. And the problem is that's what they're doing globally as a macrocosm. So, but essentially, to get back to the historical narrative, we're going back and forth. It's weaving, like Trump would say, but it's working. So, then Hitler came up, who was obviously a family member of the Rothschilds. So basically, his father, Aloy, was a Rothschild child that was then put back out into the community and basically given money to live off of. And he just kind of lived as a worker, but as like a spoiled worker, kind of like I think he did kind of like more of like managing and telling people what to do, and just kind of, I don't know, like fucking around the community. And then he had Hitler, and then Hitler at one point also then went to Vienna, and he lived in like a Rothschild shelter. So, and that's how this family treats you, essentially. Like, some of the people, they the thing about like successful people is you have to struggle. So if you don't struggle and make your own way, I don't know if you'll truly reach like great heights, honestly, which is a thing. Like, it's an actual concern for people who have so much, and then they kind of feel like their first generation children are gonna be, they're not gonna have what it takes to be what like the founders of that particular family were like, because they didn't have the circumstances that built them. So we have to like understand that paradigm, I suppose. So it is a thing, and it's a thing for the Enlightenment as well. Like, you have to have a certain amount of struggling, a certain amount of like complete loss or emptiness, in order to like rebuild into like a structure, um, on a spiritual level and on a strength and intellectual level to a point too. So then there was Hitler, who was kind of like this. So basically, he was truly just like embedded in the community, and he had special like experiences, and he rose. And there were a ton of parties that were just like him, as I've learned in history. They all were dealing with the same problem. Essentially, it was that they had a massive threat of people who wanted to murder them coming from Soviet Russia, was a Jewish group, and they also had this Jewish group embedded within their nation, who had drained the economy, and child sex abuses was running rampant, and transgenderism beyond like natural occurrence was running rampant, more of like an ideology or of a religion, which is called Satanism. And so the awareness was already there. And the thing is that Hitler was extremely talented, obviously, coming from a family of intellectually talented people. So they supported his party, and they used him for their own benefit. And then when he was done, he got to go to Argentina, and then he got to go to the US. So and live out the rest of his life, where then his family, unknown, would grow up and experience life and emerge, just as Hitler did. So that's that situation. And then what happened in the interim between then and now was that Russia was still in danger, because of these Soviets. So, and the U.S. knew we would be in danger too. That's why we took Nazis here from Paperclip, to hopefully like protect us, from the communist, Jewish satanic threat of Marxism, who just have a pure ideological nature to want to kill humans, who are Satanists, who are finance schemers, and ideologically, until they change their ways, that's not going to change. They changed their religion to Judaism to try to fit in with a population and hide in this population, but that's not what they truly practice, and that's not truly what they participate in. So, and like I said, I historically have family members from this group, so like I understand, like, but the thing is, it's a problem, it's a danger. So anyway, this group was still a problem in Russia, and they did capitalism, which you have to understand is the same thing as communist Marxism. So, and that's what Elon and the oligarchs want here, is fake capitalism, where they privatize government and then they become the government. But the problem with corporation being government is that people don't vote for corporations. The corporations aren't going to listen to the people. So that's why government is supposed to be important, because the people are supposed to be contributing to the governments, in which then the government is supposed to act on behalf of the people, which the people are paying for. The problem is that they've corrupted our government in the last 30 years so horribly that it pretty much is acting privatized. It's bought privately, and that happened in 2010. Was catastrophic. And of course they use the name Everything Is Their Asshole. So it was Citizens United. So those citizens united to be able to black budget our government and to be able to ridiculously pay for and bribe and extort politicians. They hit us with that, and they also hit us with the Epstein blackmail, where they were embedding themselves within the personal lives of all influential people. So, like I say, they either incorporate you and use you for them, or they get rid of you and kill you, literally. So, this is just the whole fucking psychological game that they play over and over and over and over again. So that's what happened in Germany, okay? And then Hitler came and tried to like get rid of it, right? And then and really it was just used to move around a lot of money to destroy Germany, which was ultimately what these people wanted to do anyway. To bomb London, which was ultimately what these people wanted to do anyway, to kill millions of people, 40 million people died or something like that, maybe more, which was ultimately what they wanted to do anyway. So once again, if you don't understand what's happening, you are literally just a tool. You are just being used to do what they already want to do. And we all take that risk. But when you're not even aware and you're actually listening to their bots on the X platform, or you're getting information directly from their AI chatbots, that's a huge problem. So then Putin came along and they were doing their post-communism capitalist game. Which is the same thing. So now they're privatizing. The problem was, once again, it resulted in the same thing. People were literally starving in the streets. People were literally starving. So, like they kind of said, like, you're not. It's not like Hitler came along. They make you feel like he implemented some dictatorship and took away everybody's rights. No, he built for at least a few years a protection mechanism around Germany, which they could no longer be extracted from. They could no longer be abused by outsiders from. They could start to build families. They could start to build an identity again, rather than homeless and poor and abused. So, like with Putin, if I talk to Ukrainians or whoever, they say, well, they don't have freedoms, they don't have it. Like, and not even that many people have said that, and who knows who I've spoken to, but you have to understand that before Putin, they had nothing. They had nothing. They were at the whim of every attack that this Jewish satanic group wanted to commit against them. They had nothing. Putin divided their oligarchs and took all the money back and put it into the government, which Putin, and this is sketchy, obviously, because anybody could do this and completely fuck everybody, but he said, we're gonna have a nation, like, also, like, Russia's extremely large, and it was just under constant attacks of, like, being divided, because that's how you, like, destroy a nation, is you divide and conquer them, and then you extract resources. So he basically just was like, we're not going to be divided, okay? So, like, and he put the oligarchs in prison, he took the money, and he made sure the Russians were being fed, the Russian people. He made sure the Russian people were having houses. Essentially, it was just complete destruction, or somebody who was going to take the reins to completely create a fortress around an area, a large area of people that were going to be destroyed. So, and then obviously these Marxists who have seeped into governments are furious because they're trying to destroy Russia. Like, they're trying to destroy Iran, like they're trying to destroy the US. And I just watched this video of like, and I wish I could share it and I always lose it, but like of Putin just trying to go to the NATO meetings. Putin trying to go to the meetings, like Putin trying to be part of the European Union, like Putin trying, and this group is just not allowing it. They're not allowing it. They would rather destroy their countries and steal every penny from the Europeans than to work constructively with Russia, with a united Russia. Is what's happening, and what has happened for so long. And Putin was a young man, like he was like 35. Like it was kind of crazy, and you would just see him like what the fuck, like, and it's so frustrating, and I get it, and I totally get it, and I could see it happening. And meanwhile, these governments have destroyed Europe. Okay, they allowed the Jewish globalists to destroy Europe. They took all their citizens' money and they bombed the Middle East relentlessly for 30 years, and they bombed Sudan and Africa for 30 years, and then they swarmed Europe with all these migrants. Russia didn't get swarmed with migrants. And now I have been watching them relentlessly attack Russia for 5 years. And it's sad. It's sad to know that a man who is 35 years old and is now, and like I could cry, like in his 70s, and has never been able to experience an easy, like, I'm not saying he hasn't had easy days. I know he's a billionaire and this and that, but I'm saying like has never been able to have like peace. Like, and that's how these people are. They're relentless. Like, there's no reason why the Russian people have been having to fight in a war for 5 years. They've been together for 30 years, and then these assholes want to come in with the puppet Zionist Israeli Jewish regime and just nonstop fucking bombard the Russians. Nobody can progress. You can't progress toward a safe democracy, a true safe democracy, if these threats of this particular group are so damaging and horrendous. And that's the problem. And they keep going until you're carpet bombed, like Germany, like London, like Iran, like Gaza, like Ukraine. You have to understand that they don't stop. And now the problem is that they want to come to the U.S., and they did come to the U.S., but now they want to actually embed themselves and make it seem like it's a legitimate thing, which is against who we are as a nation of like freedom, liberty, justice. Like, they're trying to destroy the integrity of who our nation is. They have stolen so much money. $5 trillion we're paying, I think, federally, and then $4 trillion we're paying states in taxes, citizens that were working yearly. That's $9 trillion a year. Where is it? Yet somehow Mark Zuckerberg and the whole Jewish community has become not even billionaires, but hundreds of billions of dollars. That's where the money came from. It came directly from our tax money, because Epstein was directly stealing it. He had a pass to our treasury. And that was the whole thing, that we will give you the company, we will give you the money, you will do what we want. And then we are going to take over the United States, which is the largest economy, the largest military, one of the largest bodies of civilians paying taxes. And we've been paying for their small state of 9 million people. 450 million Americans have been paying for a group of Jewish Zionists in Israel for 30 years to live for free. And while they're living for free and they're getting college education and they're getting health care, they're like compounding wealth, and then they're investing it back into our nation, and they're buying out our nation. And that's the mechanism of which they've robbed and destroyed us. And it can't go further. These people need to be literally prosecuted. They need to be arrested, detained, prosecuted for theft, for terrorism. It shouldn't be even a question. Like, and the problem is, we need somebody who's going to go into Congress and start pulling those people out and arresting them. And that's supposed to be the military. And we've reached a really bad point of compromise because they're embedding themselves. The terrorist AI bullshit Palantir, who fucking sucks, has taken all of our information, and they're embedding themselves in our military. So that's why our military is not doing their job. They're not going to war against Israel. They're not detaining their people that they need to be detaining. They're not going into our government and getting the terrorists within out and charging them for their crimes of stealing from Americans, lying to Americans, participating in an attempted military and government coup against the United States government, in which the Americans pay for. And then it leads you to their ultimate plan, which is the New World Order, which even J.D. Vance mentioned, which is the Jewish Zionist takeover of the world. And it's crazy. Like, it's a one world government. They're completely in control. It's everybody's microchipped. It's everybody's surveillance. It's all... They take all the wealth out of the economy, and then they give you an allowance, and then they operate everything. And you see who these people are. They're sick. They're sick. Like, we can't allow them to go any further. They put parasites in our foods. 30 states have been dealing with parasites. Humans having to go to the hospital and getting sick. They're literally, this is what they're doing. Those satellites that are going up are holding mirrors and pointing at the sun and pointing down and blasting heat waves. And then they wanted to tell you it was global warming so that they could charge you for the air you breathe, your carbon, or the air you breathe out. And literally, and they're absurd. And now we know it's actually just them blasting locations with... You've seen, like, you've all seen it. I feel like this is why they've fucking shown us so many times. Like, they show you, like, shining the light, like, off the whatever, and, like, starting a fire, like, and they're creating smog, and they're trying to kill everybody. So, like, we have to understand, like, they have a plan to vastly reduce the world population, to destroy nation boundaries, and to make corporation boundaries, because they're dumbasses, and to control the world. And if people are in on it, they think that's their immunity from being a victim of it, essentially. So, like, but that's not how we can live our lives. Like, we can't all live... Life on Earth is short. We have to do what's right. We have to do what we know is right. We don't sell out other humans and commit crimes to save ourselves and a lifespan that is only 100 years long. Like, you do the right thing, you don't do the wrong thing. So that's like, these people have been so brainwashed and they're so demented, that they're just so dumb at this point. You have to understand this. These are all the same dumb people. Like, it's been the same dumb people in the tech industry for 30 years. It's been the same dumb people in the U.S. government for the 30 years. And then now they're harvested if they're dumb. So they find you, and some people, they're found just solely because they're dumb. and they'll speak and they'll say dumb shit, and then other people are actually found for their talent, and they either extract your talent from you, and use it for themselves, or they get rid of you, like they kill you. So we need to understand that, like, we're under attack by a group of Jewish people. They're actually Satanists. Jewish people should be just as alarmed, because they're stealing from you and they're attacking you as well. Other Jewish people are benefiting from this because they get all of the perks, the free living, etc. And it's just a massive criminal organization, and it's happened many times throughout history. It happened in Spain, it's happened everywhere, and eventually it comes to the point where this parasite kills the host, or the host, one of the queens of Spain, ejects the parasite, like hardcore. Like, sorry, I'm not trying. Like, it's not because you're Jewish, okay? It's because you're trying to kill us. That's why, okay? It's not because you're Jewish. It's because you're stealing from us, okay? So, like, that kind of energy, like, so we need to understand, like, you can read all my work, like, what their true global plan is and how far along they are in it, and then how aggressive we need to be in stopping them. It may seem uncomfortable to arrest U.S. politicians or government officials. They've raped children. They've trafficked children. They're committing crimes. They're stealing your money. These are the people that we need to arrest. These are the true criminals. And the problem is that if we don't stop them, they're going to kill us. Did you hear one politician say anything about the parasite in 30 states? Did you hear one politician say anything about the 80 fires in Canada or the massive fires sweeping across the U.S.? No, you heard me telling the Jewish fucking Satanist bullshitters, stop with the fucking parasites and stop with the fucking fires and get the fuck out of our country and give us our fucking money back and stop your AI fucking bullshit and stop killing people around the world. Stop your genocide in Israel, in Palestine, and whatever places that you claim to be yours, because they're not yours. And they're offensive. Like, they're doing this on behalf, they were saying Christians before. Jesus was about clothing the neighbor, loving the neighbor, forgiving the neighbor. How dare they use Christianity? To commit their heinous and evil crimes. You have to understand, like, the scope of how offensive and horrible they are is so bad. The infringing on people's lives and privacy is so bad. There's security surveillance plans with flock cameras and digital currency, and Palantir spying on private citizens and stealing from everybody is so bad. And we need to all be aware of who it is, what they do, what their plan is, and we need to be able to stop them. What they're doing in Palestine is a genocide, and it's a crime, and the Nazis were hung for that. Hung. Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, they're all committing these exact same crimes, and they're not benefiting us in any way. None of them are contributing to rocket science. They offer us nothing. And first of all, the Nazis didn't do that shit. Obviously, these people make this shit up. They make concentration camps. They commit genocides. They feed people from fucking pans. Nothing. Broth. They destroy homes. So it's in their minds. That's why they create these stories and lies about other people. Because it's the things that they actually do. And for 80 years, Europe was drained paying for it. The U.S. has been attacked and drained paying for it. This Jewish group of Satanists needs to be contained. They need to be monitored. We need all of our information back. We need all of our money back. We need our peace back. There shouldn't be any disruptions. There shouldn't be days of smogs. You shouldn't have a parasite. There shouldn't be COVID. All of this is man-made or demon-made, whatever they are now. And none of it should be occurring. So if it's occurring, we shouldn't be figuring out, first of all, it shouldn't be silent. We should know exactly who's doing it, and we need to stop them from doing it. Not catering to it. We cater to COVID. We cater to all their fucking bullshit. And then we found out it was just them fucking with us. So they could fucking vax us with bioweapons and fuck up our DNA. Larry Ellison having all of our information in GenMatch with Oracle, all this information they have about us on 23andme.com, etc. All that needs to be figured out. Like, these people can't have our information. And then for them to be giving themselves fucking bullshit DNA awards in Israel, where are you getting all the DNA from? What are you doing with the DNA? What do you know about the DNA? How are you creating so many bioweapons and you have all of our DNA? The human trafficking that is taking place out of Venezuela, Marco Rubio needs to be charged and prosecuted for. This ICE military unit that we didn't have in the US before and we didn't need in the US before needs to be stopped. The data that their systems have needs to be figured out. It needs to be shut down. They made the illegal immigration problem on purpose so that they could implement these terrorist mechanisms, the surveillance, and the private militaries that they're receiving money from. So all that bullshit needs to stop. So that's kind of where we are right now. They need to go back to their piece of land. And if they can't responsibly be in that piece of land without committing crimes globally from it, then they can't have that. And the problem is that they want to go back into our communities, and that's a problem too. So they're causing problems everywhere. So the Palestinian people need to have peace. They need to have their home back. Look at what they did to that bullshit. Who's gonna fucking pay for that? Oh, Americans are gonna fucking pay for that? To fix that? Palantir should fucking pay for it. They fucked it all up. Microsoft should pay for it. They fucked it all up. But then they're gonna say now they own it because they fucked it up and they had to pay to fix it. So now they think they fucking own it. These assholes all need to go to fucking prison, and we need to take every fucking penny that they stole from us, and then we need to fix all the fucking calamities and bullshit that they committed against the entire world and us. Anyway, so I just want to say that most days, you know, I start like, it's just quiet, you know, I meditate, I do a lot of yoga, I stretch, so I hope everybody's taking care of their bodies, stretching, doing yoga, meditating, having peace. You should have peace of mind. You should have money to buy the things that you need to take care of yourself, and we should all be receiving good health care. And all of our children should be doing hobbies, gymnastics, dance, horseback riding, art. They shouldn't be brain rotting on social media sites that are laden with pedophiles like Mr. Beast, targeting children. And then the information that is on it, sites that U.S. citizens are accessing should be beneficial to us. They shouldn't be brain rot, demons this, and inappropriate that. It should be beneficial. Kids should be learning. They should be learning about strategy. They should be learning about the world. Everybody in the U.S. should be vacationing. You should be exploring the world and learning different cultures and societies, and not because they're coming to you. You should be learning them because we're exploring, and it's a choice. And these people who have to come here because they've been kicked out of their own homes, We can't allow them to continue to be kicked out of their own homes and abused. We can't give the money to the evil Israelis to destroy people's infrastructure and water systems and schools, and then call those same victims these nasty fucking names on horrible, horrible U.S. Zionist evil controlled media in front of the U.S. public. They shouldn't be putting that stuff in your minds. That's not how we are as humans. It needs to be a loving, healthy community. They're creating a very toxic environment, pollution-wise and in our minds, and we cannot allow the Satanists to pollute our environments and our minds. We need to protect our environments and our minds. So I think that's all I'll say for right now. But they're totally out of fucking control. They can't. Crime is crime. Murder is murder. You can't go to somebody's house and burn it down in the U.S. It's a crime. You can't go to a family and murder an entire family. It's a crime. So what makes you think Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance and Palantir can go to a family across the ocean and murder their entire family, and we're supposed to cheer for them and give them fucking money? They're absurd criminals, and they're idiots. And they have a list of people. You hear their bullshit, PSYOP, Notre Dame, or whatever. They want us to go to war with China. They want us to bombs to reign over the U.S. They want a pestilence to come to wipe out 2/3 of the global planet. These are all their sick plans. China, there's no fucking problem with. They want to be left alone. They want to focus on themselves. We need to start building here. Stop giving our money away for bullshit. We need to start investing it into ourselves. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to stop stealing it from the Americans who do know how to do it. We know what we need to invest in. We know what we need. We know what sucks and needs to be fixed. So stop stealing our fucking money and burning it. Literally burning it with bombs, creating diseases, plaguing us on the internet and on your social media platforms. So I think that's all I'll say for right now. Everybody, peace and love. Everybody should have safety, comfort, care, consideration. Things should make sense. It's not that difficult. If it sounds like bullshit, it's because it's bullshit and it's unacceptable. And where there's bullshit, it's because somebody's trying to fuck with you so they can steal from you, which is not okay. So we have a big problem where a ton of the representatives in the U.S. government need to be apprehended and they need to be charged and prosecuted for their crimes of stealing from Americans and committing terrorist acts around the world and in the United States and not protecting Americans. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Anyway, peace and love, everybody.